Powers of Supreme Court. Original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction deals with the cases that can be directly considered by Supreme Court without approaching the lower courts. It includes federal cases like conflicts arising between union and states or amongst states themselves. The Supreme Court has the supreme power to solve such cases. It also explains the powers of center and state government listed in the Constitution. Writ jurisdiction. According to writ jurisdiction, any person whose fundamental rights have been violated can directly approach the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court and High Courts can order writs. It depends on the person whether he wants to approach High Court or Supreme Court. With the help of these writs, court can order executive whether to act or not to act. Appellate jurisdiction. In appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court reviews the case and legal issues involved in it. Since Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal, therefore, an individual can appeal to Supreme Court against the decision of High Court. But High Court has to guarantee that the case is fit for appeal. And in criminal case, if the accused is granted death penalty by the lower court, then he or she can appeal to Supreme Court. Supreme Court is given a right to decide whether to accept or reject the appeal, even when it is not granted by High Court. Advisory jurisdiction. The Supreme Court also holds the advisory functions. The President has the right to seek the advice of Supreme Court on any matter related to public importance or which involves interpretation of the Constitution.
Supreme Court is restricted to give advice, but President is not restricted to accept this advice.
Advantages of advisory function. It permits the government to take legal opinion
On important matters,
so that later it does not lead to unnecessary legal problems. When the Supreme Court gives advice, the government can make changes in its action or legislations. Special powers. An appeal in judgment or matter passed by any other court in India can be granted a special leave by the Supreme Court. It is enforceable across the country and the Supreme Court can review its own decisions anytime.
For more such videos on all subjects, practice questions and a lot more, download iPrep and learn unlimited.